Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a really big topic in the business world. How do we take environmental, social, and governance principles, ESG, and make them more than just a checklist? We're going to explore how to move ESG from being a simple box-ticking exercise into the actual culture of an organization. Because when that shift happens, it's not just good for the planet, it's really, really good for business. So, let's get into it. So, let's just start with this question right here. Take a second and think about where you work. Is ESG treated like this separate thing, maybe handled by a small team over in a corner? Or is it something everyone feels is just part of the company's DNA? That space between being just another initiative and being part of your core identity? Well, that's the gap we're here to talk about closing.
All right, here's the game plan. First, we'll talk about that crucial shift in mindset. Then, we'll get into the practical, day-to-day stuff. After that, we're going to connect it all back to your business strategy. Look at how to get everyone on board, and finally, paint a picture of what your organization's future can look like when you nail this.
Okay, step one. And honestly, this is the foundation for everything else. It all starts with a major mental shift. We have to stop thinking of ESG as some kind of add-on and start seeing it as just a core part of who the company really is.
I love the language here. It talks about weaving ESG into the fabric of an organization. Think about that. It's not about just stapling a new policy onto the way you've always done things. No, it's about intertwining these principles so deeply that you can't even tell where the company ends and its ESG commitments begin. They become one and the same.
So that sounds great, right? But how do you actually do that weaving? Let's get out of the clouds and into the nuts and bolts. It really boils down to three key pillars of action.
This three-step process is basically the engine that makes it all happen. First, you have to formalize it. This means your commitments aren't just vague promises, they are written down in official company policies for everything from hiring to sourcing materials. Then you operationalize it. This is where you actually build ESG criteria into your core workflows, right? Like it becomes part of your project planning. And finally, and this is the real goal, you normalize it. It becomes so routine that making responsible choices is just an automatic everyday habit for literally everyone.
And that brings us to a super important point. For any of this to stick around, ESG can't be viewed as some side project or, a charity case. It has to be tied directly to the core strategy of the business. This slide just lays it out so clearly. On the one hand, you have the old way of thinking, siloed ESG, where it's seen as just another cost draining the company's resources. But then, look at the other side. When it's integrated, ESG becomes a true value driver. It helps manage risk, it attracts the best people, and it fuels innovation. The big takeaway here is that integrated ESG doesn't compete with business goals. It is the business goal.
Of course, policies and processes only go so far. None of this works without people. Real integration isn't something you can just mandate from the top down. It has to become a shared culture. It's got to be everyone's job, from the intern all the way up to the CEO.
So how do you actually build that kind of culture? Well, it absolutely has to start at the top, with leadership championing the vision. Then, you give your teams the training they need. You set up groups that work across departments to break down those silos. But here's the one that's a real game changer. You have to link performance reviews and metrics to ESG outcomes. The moment you do that, it becomes real. It tells everyone that this isn't just nice talk. It's a fundamental part of how we define success here. So you've done all this work. You've shifted the mindset. You've updated the processes. You've built the culture. What does the end result actually look like? What's the ultimate outcome we're all aiming for here? This right here is the finish line. You know you've succeeded when you stop talking about the ESG project. It's when making smart, sustainable, ethical decisions is so baked into the company culture, so automatic, that it's simply how things get done. It becomes the default setting, not the exception.
And really, that's the whole story. This entire journey is about taking ESG from being just an idea, a concept on a slide, and turning it into a living, breathing daily practice. And when you do that, you're not just improving a few metrics, you are actively building a stronger, more resilient, and more successful future for your entire organization.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. Don't try to boil the ocean. Just think, what is one small, tangible practice, one little tweak to a process, one question you can ask in a meeting that you can change tomorrow to start weaving ESG just a little bit deeper into your company's fabric? Because that's where the real change always begins.